Good morning. I'm gonna be drawing with color pencil today. First of all, let's go back to my previous color pencil work and decide which part to improve. This is it. This is terrible. There are many parts to improve. The most obvious one is the whole contrast. When I was drawing this, I got too detailed and couldn't see the whole picture, the light areas and dark areas. This is Leonardo DiCaprio, but his face looks longer than it is. Since I measured the length, the size of each part must be correct. This optical illusion is caused by the contrast. So the main challenge for this time is to reproduce the whole contrast correctly. You might be saying it's obvious, but if you do it by yourself, I bet you'll find it much more difficult than just saying it. And another thing I've changed for this time is the color pencil brand. Before I used Tombow color pencils, but this time I bought Faber Castell's color pencils. Since the full color version is too pricey for me, I bought the 12 colors version. Of course, the pencils are just pencils, but many people say like depending on the brand, the color is very different. Anyway, let's enjoy drawing. Let's talk about today's theme, how to improve your repetition. As you already know, practice is basically repetition. This thought can be applied for anything, not only for sport or study, even for drawing like I'm doing right now. Why I talk about this? Because there are so many people who are proud of the time and effort they spent on something, especially on the internet. Of course, time and effort is important in order to improve. However, if you want to improve much faster, you shouldn't just focus on the number. You should focus on the quality. You should do your best for each of them. Let's take painting as an example. Some people said that a better painter can complete one painting with less brush strokes because beginner painters only think about color and brush size. Which color they want to put with one brush stroke and focus on the starting point of a brush stroke. On the other hand, better painters focus on not only the color or the brush stroke, they also think about ending points of each brush strokes or thickness of it. Eventually, beginners have to fix the ending point of each brush stroke or thickness of it. It will cost them much more time and effort to complete one painting. If you're a professional painter, this might affect your professional career too. Let's take another example. Baseball pitcher. Let's say you want to practice or pitching a ball. My first impression about the practice is just to throw the ball to a target. But even for this simple practice, some pitchers might also think about the trajectory of the ball each time, direction of the spin, and even for the posture before throwing it. I used to play football in my school days. I remember I practiced shooting. At that time, honestly speaking, I just only focused on speed and course. Now I know that to become a better football player, stopping the ball is much more important skill. If I had noticed this in my school days, my football life might have been totally different. One of the sports I still play is squash. I've been playing it I started it when I was a university student. Before, when I practiced it, I just focused on winning rallies. Sometimes I paid attention to the course of each shot. However, recently, for the last several years, I pay attention to the impact on my right hand wrist when I strike the ball. When you strike the ball effectively, the impact on your wrist is not so painful, more like flexible kind. I always try to feel this kind of impact on my wrist. Many people say like after 20 or 15 years you wouldn't improve in any sport. but I'm confident I'm still improving. I've talked about sports to this point. Let's talk about habits as well. I like reading, and there was a time that I really cared the number of the books I've read. I was really proud of the number, saying like I read 100 books this year, but one day I realized that just reading as many books as I can isn't enough. Unfortunately, there are many crappy books in the world. Even if I could luckily find a great book, after 1 year or 2 years, I forgot everything about it. So these days I also focus on how to read, what to read. And after reading each book, I write my review to solidify my memory. As a result, the number of the books I read has decreased a little bit, but I'm confident I'm improving my reading experience and I'm improving my knowledge. Well, let's summarize. For every skill, the number and time is essential. However, if you do your best for each time of the repetition, the power of the number is gonna be a huge. So if you are right now focused on only the number or time, I admit it's necessary to improve, but you can do more. Let's once again think about how to improve your daily habit or practice. Then the distance right now you can cover for 1 year might be covered only in 3 months. If you like this thought, just consider and incorporate this into your daily repetition. Well, I'm almost done. This is much better than my previous work. I really paid attention to the contrast. I think the instability of the pressure of each stroke affects a little bit on the whole work. I need more practice. I watch many YouTube channels of pencil art. Some of them are really realistic. Mine is not so bad, but it's not so realistic. Anyway, I should be exploring more. That's it today. Thank you for watching. If you like, let's enjoy drawing together. See you next time.